Hello students, once again welcome to your favorite channel TKG Physics Classes. So students, I am come back with another topic from your vector chapter. All of you know we are almost in the last part in your vector chapter. Today we will discuss another important part which is important for your board exam as well as competitive purpose. That is today our topic name projectile motion. All of you know we already completed motion in a straight line. When a body moves along a straight path, it may be x-axis, maybe y-axis, maybe z-axis, then the motion of that body is known as motion in a straight line. Now, what is circular motion? When a body moves along a circular path, the motion of that body is known as circular motion. Now, in this lecture, we will discuss what is projectile motion. What is the path of that projectile motion? What is the maximum height of that projectile? What is the time of maximum height, time of flight, horizontal range, etc. So before going to that part, at first you have to know the basic idea about projectile motion. Given one example. Suppose you have a football in front of you and you want to kick it. Now you just imagine in which way the football will go. This direction, the football will go this direction. You just think no. In general, the direction of the football like this way. Yes or not? Yes. Suppose a cricketer hits a cricket ball. Now you just imagine the path followed by that cricket ball. A cricketer hits the cricket ball and the path of that cricket ball like this way, like this way, like this way. These types of motion is known as projectile motion. So first of all, you have to know what is the necessary condition for a projectile motion. Here the name projectile, you just see a projectile is the name given to any body which once throw into space with some initial velocity. Here when you applying a force on the football, that is you applying some initial velocity and the body goes and the body moves, therefore under the influence of gravity. When you applied a kick and the body moves, like you just see the body moves under the influence of gravity without being any engine or fuel. That is the motion of that body is depends upon the influence of gravity, but initially you applying this force on that body and the body is projected with some initial velocity. These types of motion is known as projectile motion and the path of that projectile is named as trajectory. So write it down first, the definition of projectile motion. In mainly projectile motion in vector, that is motion in a plane, I just explained it. You just see this is the path of a projectile motion. That means consider here body moving along two direction. You just see here body moves along two direction. Suppose at this point the body moves along x-axis, this one. The body moves along x-axis and at this point the body moves along vertical direction along this side. So projectile motion, that means the body moves in two way along x-axis as well as along y-axis. The combination, and this is independent of each other. The motion of along x-axis and the motion of along y-axis is independent on each other, and this is the projectile motion. Now you just see this figure. Here a body is projected with some initial velocity u, and the direction of initial velocity, that is the tangent, okay, and it makes an angle theta with this horizontal axis, that is with x-axis. So obviously you have two components, one that is horizontal component, another one that is the vertical component. Now horizontal component, that is along x-axis, because here angle made with x-axis, so this component is named as horizontal component. So u has two component, ux, that is the horizontal component, u cos theta, and the vertical component u sin theta. Write it down, vertical component u sin theta. Okay, now after some time the velocity of that body will decreases. The body is going this way against gravity, the direction of gravity, like this way. So the body is moving against gravity, so with the passage of time the velocity of that body is decreases, and at a particular point the velocity of that body, that means the vertical velocity of that body, becomes 0 at the maximum height. You just see, this is the maximum height. At this point the velocity of that body becomes 0. Velocity of that body, that means obviously the vertical component of velocity, not horizontal. You just see, suppose here body is projected with initial velocity u. Suppose you consider this velocity is 4. So at this point, at the point of position velocity 4, suppose this point velocity is 3, this point velocity is 2, this point velocity is 1, and at this point velocity is 0. That's why the body is at this point. When its velocity increases, the body will going like this way. Initially the velocity of that body decreases with the passage of time, and at a particular point the vertical velocity, that is 0, but the horizontal velocity remains constant. You just see, horizontal velocity, that means this direction along x-axis, and g is directed like this direction. There is no value of g, no value of acceleration along x-axis. Okay, so along x-axis the body is moving with uniform velocity, always u cos theta, but the vertical velocity of that body is decreases with the passage of time, and at the highest point the vertical velocity of the body, that is vy, vertical velocity of that body is becomes 0. Okay, and this is our maximum height, which is represented as h max, and after that the body again increases its velocity. Suppose this point is 1, this point is 2, this point is 3, and this point is 4. That means initially the projected velocity is exactly equal to the final point velocity according to conservation of energy. Okay, so write it down one by one along x coordinate and along y coordinate. So along x coordinate, initial velocity ux, that is u cos theta. Along y coordinate, along y axis, vertical line, initial velocity uy, that is u sin theta. Along x axis, the acceleration, the component of acceleration ax, 0. Acceleration is directed, acceleration due to gravity, like this way, and the body is moving like this way. So along, there is no value of acceleration along x axis, ax 0, but the value of ay, that is minus of g. The g is directed like this way, and the body is moving against g. So always here the value of g is minus g throughout the projection motion of that body. Now here velocity initially decreases, velocity decreases, and it attained zero velocity at highest point, that is vy is equal to 0 at highest point. Then again its velocity increases, and here uniform velocity. Okay, now before going to the derivation, you have to know some assumption. For deriving the theory of projectile motion, we have to know some assumption which is taken into consideration, and these are the assumptions. First one, there is no air resistance on the projectile. We cannot consider air resistance. Second one, the effect due to curvature of the earth is negligible. g is changes, the value of g, acceleration due to gravity, is changes with respect to height, with respect to depth, with respect to shape of the earth, with respect to rotation of the earth. We will discuss in your gravitation chapter in details. So here, due to shape of the earth, the value is changes, but we can not consider it, we can it neglected. Okay, same way, third one, the effect due to rotation of the earth is also neglected, and for all point of the trajectory, that is the for all point of the motion of the body, the acceleration due to gravity is constant, both in magnitude, that is g 9.8, and in direction, that is ay equal to minus of g. Okay, now here we will derive one by one. First we will derive that the path of the projectile, this projectile path is like in which way? Straight path, parabola, high parabola. Okay, so we will prove it. In your mathematics, you know, for parabola there is a specific equation for parabola path, for straight line path there is a specific equation. So here we will prove the path of the projectile. We just say, write it down, the path of the trajectory, our first theory, path of trajectory. Okay, at first you consider along x component, along x component, along x axis, our initial velocity ux, that is u cos theta, and ax, the value of acceleration along x component is 0. So the distance along x axis is given by, with the help of this formula, s equal to ut plus half gt square. Now here s along x axis, so x s, that means x, along y axis we can consider that is y. Okay, so x equal to u, that means initial velocity u cos theta into t plus, sorry, half at square. Here the value of ax, that is the component along x axis, acceleration is 0, so this value is 0. So when this value is will be 0, so total expression is 0. So from here you can easily write it down, this value t equal to x by u cos theta, x by u cos theta. This is our equation number 1. Now you consider along vertical line, along vertical direction, first case, that is the along horizontal direction, along vertical direction, that is along y axis. Along y axis, initial velocity uy, that is equal to, you see, u sin theta, and ay, that is equal to minus of g. So the distance traveled along vertical direction is equal to ut plus half a t square. Now here you just use the value s, the distance travel along vertical direction, and it is represented by y, along vertical direction y, and along horizontal direction is x, along this way x and along this way y. So y equal to, in the place of u, you have to write u sin theta, that is u sin theta, and you know the value of t, you just see here. So putting this value x u cos theta, then plus half a, that is ay, and ay value is minus g, so this value will be minus of g t square, that means x square divided by u square cos square theta. Now simplify it. That is y equal to, here u cancel out, sin theta by cos theta, that is tan theta x minus g by 2u square cos square theta into x square. Now I am just writing this value, y is equal to px minus qx square, y equal to px minus qx square. Here p, that means tan theta, one constant value, and q, that means g divided by 2u square cos theta, also gives constant value. Now you just see this equation is for which types of motion. The parabola equation, actual parabola equation, that is y square is equal to 4ax, that means one coordinate value, that is x, and another coordinate value will be square of that coordinate. Okay, and this is our constant value. You just see one coordinate is x and there is another coordinate, the square of that coordinate, that is x square. So this equation is the actual equation of parabola, and these types of motion is known as parabola equation. You see, this is a parabola, 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 parabola. So this motion, this equation is similar to this equation, that is the parabola equation. So with the help of this equation we can say that the motion of the projectile, the motion of this particle, the motion of the body is parabolic. Okay, because this equation is exactly similar to the parabola equation. In case of parabola equation, you just see there is x square and there is x. Suppose if there is a y square, that means another coordinate will be x. If one coordinate will be x square, then one coordinate will be y. In one coordinate will be y square, then one coordinate will be x. Here one coordinate is y, so obviously another coordinate is x square. Okay, so this is our first derivation. Write it down. So the path of the projectile is parabolic. Now we will derive the time of maximum height. That means at which time the body will attain this height, maximum height. Write it down. So our second derivation, the time of maximum height. Write it. Our second derivation, time of maximum height. You just consider at maximum height our vertical component of velocity is 0. Velocity initially decreases, then at maximum height velocity is 0. Again velocity increases like this. Okay, so at but along x-axis the velocity remains constant. So write it down. At maximum height, our vertical component of velocity Vy is equal to 0, and the time of maximum height you just represent time taken to attain maximum height, that is time of maximum height is represented as Tm. Now we have to find out the expression for finding Tm. You just use this formula, V is equal to U plus At. All of you know. Now along vertical direction the value of V, that means Vy, the value of U, that is Uy, the value of A, that means Ay, and here T is represented as Tm, that is the time taken to reach the maximum height. Now just putting the value of Vy 0, the value, sorry, Vy 0, sorry, the value of Uy, U sin theta, the value of Ay minus of G, and Tm. So from here you can easily find out the value of Tm, that is Tm is equal to u sin theta divided by g. So this is our expression of time taken to reach the body at the maximum height, that is u sin theta by g, and the time of maximum height is represented by Tm or Tmax. Okay, now our third derivation, that is we'll prove the time of flight. What is the meaning of time of flight? The body is initially projected at this point and finally the body is again hit the ground. So the total time taken initial to hit the ground, the total time taken by the body, the total time taken to the flight of that body, initial, that is starting point when the body is projected, then finally when the body hits the ground, total time taken value is defined as time of flight. Now we will derive what is the expression of time of flight. Okay, derive it. So our third theory, that is time of flight. So at this position, suppose this point is B, when the body is again hit the ground, what is the net displacement along the vertical direction? Initially body is projected like this way, that means the vertical direction is increases like this way. Okay, at this point the vertical direction this one, at this point this is our vertical direction, this point this one. Now body is again velocity increases and it finally hit the ground. When body is going like this way, it's vertical. Suppose body is projected at this point, sorry, body is at point here, so here vertical displacement this one, so body at point here, that is vertical displacement this one. So when body at point here, that is the vertical displacement is, you just see 0. Vertical displacement increases, maximum vertical displacement, and again vertical displacement decreases, and when the body hit the ground, vertical displacement is 0. So write it down. The vertical displacement of the body when it hits the ground that is y is equal to 0. Vertical displacement is represented as y and horizontal displacement is represented as x. So, and you just consider here time of flight is represented with the help of this symbol, that is capital T with suffix f for flight. So you just use this formula, s equal to ut plus half at square. So here s vertical direction, so s will be y, u that is vertical direction u sin theta, here t that means time of flight. Okay, and you just use this value plus half a vertical direction a, that means minus g, so here this value will be minus g, and t square, that means time of flight the square. So with the help of this equation here y equal to 0, so put it y equal to 0. So this value will be half g tf the square is equal to u sin theta tf one cancel out. So from here tf equal to, you can write u sin theta, there is 2, so this one is 2 u sin theta, and g, that is divided by g. So this is about the time of flight, the total time taken by the body to hit the ground from initial point. Okay, now you just consider this time of maximum height and the time of flight. Here u sin theta by g, here 2 u sin theta by g. So you can easily write it, tf is equal to 2 and u sin theta by g, that is equal to tm. that is the time of flight is equal to twice of time of height. Okay, and it is obvious. Okay, now our fourth theory, that is we will prove the formula for finding maximum height. How can we find out the body attained how much height, how much maximum height? Okay, write it down. Our next theory, that is the maximum height. Maximum height, theory number 4. Suppose maximum height is represented as h max, or you can write hm. Okay, so at maximum height we already know this part, that is the vertical component of velocity 0, vy 0, ay that is minus of g, uy that is equal to u sine theta. Now you just use this formula, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. V square, that is vy square, so this value is 0. U square, that is uy the square, so this value is u square sine square theta, plus 2 and a, that is ay value is minus g, so this value is minus g, and here s, that is the maximum height, so it is represented as hm. So from here you can say u square sine square theta, that is hm, is equal to u square sine square theta divided by 2g. So this is our formula by which we can find out the maximum height attained by the body. Okay, our next theory, that is the horizontal range. What is horizontal range? The total horizontal displacement during the time of flight is known as horizontal range. So during the time of flight, that means initial to final. So during the time of flight, the total horizontal range, you just see horizontal distance traveled by the body, that means along x-axis. So during time of flight, that means initial to just this point. So this range, origin to this B point, this range, this distance traveled by the body is known as horizontal range, and it is represented with the symbol of capital R. So here we will find out the expression of R. Okay, find it. So our theory number 5, that is horizontal range. Horizontal range. So for finding horizontal range, at first you have to write down the horizontal component. You know this value, ux u cos theta, ax 0, and this velocity is uniform throughout the motion. So horizontal range is equal to ut plus half a t square. With the help of this equation, we can find out horizontal range. So s, that is along x-axis, and the total distance, and it is represented r. So in the place of s, you write r. Generally we represent horizontal distance, that is x, but here the distance, horizontal distance during the time of flight, that is the total distance along x-axis, so it is represented as another name, that is capital R. So in the value of u, you have to write down the value, the component of ux, not uy, because you are considering this horizontal direction, and our horizontal initial velocity uy, that is u cos theta. So this value is u cos theta, and this horizontal range is during the time of flight. So obviously this t will be tf, that is the time of flight, and this value is 0. Why? Because the horizontal component of acceleration is 0. Okay, so just putting the value of tf, u cos theta, and the value of tf, you just see, we just derive 2u sine theta by g. Now you simplify it, u, that is u square 2 sine theta cos theta divided by g. Therefore u square 2 sine theta cos theta, that is equal to sine 2 theta, all of you know, I think. divided by g. So this is our expression for finding horizontal range. That is the how much distance travel along x-axis of the body, okay, which is named as horizontal range. Now we find this value. Now with the help of this equation we can find out another two theory. Now we will find out when the horizontal range will be maximum. And what is the value of horizontal range? So write it down. When the horizontal range will be maximum. And what is the maximum value of our horizontal range? Okay. So our next part, that is theory 6. Maximum horizontal range. Maximum horizontal range. So for maximum horizontal range, you just see r equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. So according to our concept, u square sine 2 theta by g, that is equal to r. So this value r will be r max. R will be r max. Obviously when this sine 2 theta value will be maximum, okay, and the sine 2 theta value maximum, that means 1. So from here you can write sine 2 theta, that is equal to 1, that means sine 90 degree value. So just compare it, 2 theta is equal to 90 degree, so theta is equal to 90 degree divided by 2, that is 45 degree. So at the angular projection, when a body is projected at an angle 45 degree with the horizontal direction, then the body will attain maximum horizontal range. The body will attain maximum horizontal range. Okay. Now, what is the maximum value of this horizontal range? So you just use here r equal to u square sine 2 theta. For maximum horizontal range, sine 2 theta is 1. So u square into 1 divided by g. So this is the value of r max. That is r max is equal to u square by g. Now another important part. Here we will prove there are two angle of projections for the same horizontal range. Prove it. Our next theory. Okay, write it, this part. Okay, so next part, that is theory number 7, we will prove there are two angles of projection for the same horizontal range. There are, write it down, there are two angles of projection for same horizontal range. So we know when a body is projected at an angle theta, at an initial velocity u, making an angle theta with this horizontal direction, and the horizontal range r is equal to u square sine 2 theta divided by g. Now for theta you just use 90 minus theta, and initial velocity remains same. That is, this total angle is 90, this angle is theta, so this angle of projection is obviously 90 minus theta. Now you just check for this angle of projection what is the horizontal range, and you write this value with the symbol r dash, suppose. So you know the basic formula, u initial velocity same, so this one will be u square sine 2, but in the place of theta you have to write 90 minus theta, because here you are taking this angle. Okay, so 90 minus theta divided by g. Now simplify it. That is r square equal to this one u square sine 180 minus 2 theta divided by g. Now you know there is r dash equal to u square sine 180 minus 2 theta, that is equal to sine 2 theta. So this value is sine 2 theta divided by g. Now you just check r equal to u square sine 2 theta by g, and our r dash value, that is also u square sine 2 theta by g. So we can write r dash is equal to r. That is that there are same angles, there are same horizontal range, but the angle of projection In first case we consider the angle of position theta, this angle, but in second case we consider the angle of position 90 minus theta, this one. So same horizontal range for two angle of position, that is theta and 90 minus theta, when initial velocity of projection remains same for both case. Okay, so this is our theory part, students. Now we will solve 2 or 3 numericals related to this theory part. Okay, write it down the numericals first. So write it down the problem first, students. Our first problem, that is the find the angle of projection for which the horizontal range and maximum height are equal. So according to our condition, first problem, we have to find out the angle of position, that is theta, and condition given horizontal range, that is r, is exactly equal to maximum height, which is represented as h max. And you know the formula of r, that is horizontal range, that is u square sine 2 theta divided by g, and hm, that is u square sine square theta divided by 2g. Now you simplify and find out the value of theta. Okay, so simplify it. U square sine 2 theta, that means 2 sine theta cos theta divided by g, and this value u square sine square theta divided by 2g. U square g cancel out, sine square theta, sine theta cancel out, so there is another sine theta. So this value will be 2 is equal to this one sine theta, and this cos theta in that side, this one is cos theta, and this 2 will be that side, 2 into 2. So sine or by cos, that is tan theta is equal to 4, so theta is equal to tan inverse 4. Now our second problem, write down first. In second problem we have to prove that the maximum horizontal range is 4 times the maximum height. Now write down, maximum horizontal range attained when body is projected at an angle 45 degree. We already prove it. Okay, and the maximum horizontal range value, that is r max, equal to u square by g. We also derive this value, and we have to prove this maximum horizontal range is 4 times the maximum height attained by the body, by the projectile, when fired at an inclination so as to have maximum horizontal range. That means you have to find out the maximum height with the help of this angle. That is, when the horizontal range is maximum, you have to consider this angle according to our this condition. You just see. So our formula, maximum height formula, hm, that is equal to, you see this one, u square sine square theta divided by 2g. Now here you have to use the value of theta for maximum horizontal range, and the maximum horizontal range at an angle 45 degree. So you just use it, u square sine square 45 degree divided by 2g, that is u square by 2g, and this value sine square 45, sine 45 1 by root 2, so sine square 45, that is 1 by 2, so this value will be u square by 4g. Now u square by g, that is r max, so we can write hm is equal to u square by g, that is r max, and divided by 4, so r max is equal to 4 into h max. Important part, student, and these types of problem are theoretical problem, very important for your exam. Now problem 3, write it down first. So in problem 3 we have to prove a ball is kicked at an angle of 30 degree, with the vertical, mind it, this 30 degree angle with the vertical, and our all theory is proved like this way. The angle of projection is with horizontal. According to your problem, this angle is given, this one is 30, so what is the value of theta? total angle 90, so this value will be 90 minus 30. So write it down. The angle of position theta with horizontal, that is equal to 90 degree minus 30 degree, because 30 degree is the angle of projection for vertical direction. So our actual angle of projection along horizontal direction, that is 60 degree. Now if the horizontal component of its velocity is 19.6, horizontal component of velocity, that is represented as ux equal to u cos theta. According to our problem, horizontal component of velocity, that is 19.6, this value given 19.6, you have to find out the value of u. You use this formula, then automatically you will find out the value of u. Now when you know the value of u, you have to find out the maximum height hm, that is u square sine square theta divided by 2g. You know the value of u, this value, putting here theta, that is 60 degree, g 9.8, then you can easily find out the value of hm. And again you have to find out horizontal range r, that is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. Putting the value of u here, theta, that is 60 degree, and g 9.8, so you can easily find out the value of capital R. Okay, so these types of problem is important, student. There are several types of problem related to projectile motion. Go to your exercise book and solve it, and if there is any problem, tell me. You can send a mail, the email address given in the description link, or you can say this part, any problem, via comment section. So today I am ending here. I think this part is clear to all of you. If this video is helpful to all of you, please share this channel with your friends, with your juniors. Today I am ending here. Meet you soon in next class. Till then, bye bye. Stay happy.